Hey guys, Gameboy38 Hunter once again for Confident Gaming, playing more Beamng.Drive. I found a mod. It's pretty cool. It is the new fastest car in the game. I should clarify something. It's the fastest car in the game without turbo. Because if you find a Subaru 22B or 22BX or whatever it's called, or some other car with a turbo, it'll like go 500, 700 miles an hour all day long. So, the fastest non-turbo car. Okay, I should clarify again. The fastest stable car. Let me get the standard pickup truck over to the wide open area and show you what I mean. Hit the jump. Die. Land back on the wheels. Awesome. No, I failed. There we go. I am a genius. Come on, truck. There we go. Close enough. Reset you right there. Now, what I mean by the fastest stable vehicle is that I could just choose the Annihilator here. And yeah, it's a really awesome looking funny car. It can do wheelies all day long. But try driving this for any amount of time. And yeah, it can go 300, maybe 400 miles an hour top speed. But here it's falling apart. It's like breaking apart. And the front wheels are gone. It's completely uncontrollable. The only thing to do now is slow down. And you can't even really do that. So, the fastest stable and fastest non-turbo car in the game, without modifying it. I made a really fast Indy car a while back, but only through modifications, through some text edit files. Now, you all know the Bolide, right? Bolide, the game's default supercar. What if I told you this is the new fastest car in the game? And no, I'm not talking about, like, the Bolide Class A, which is down here. The Bolide Class A is something completely different, something completely custom. And it has since been broken, and no longer controls good. At high speeds it weaves from side to side, and it's uncontrollable now. You can't stop its weaving, and eventually the weavings will make you just spin out, and you won't have fun. So the Bolide. I named my computer after it for a reason. You try to drive it, and sometimes you go straight. Most of the time, you actually just end up spinning out. Because of the way the car is designed, it just kind of does that. There's no real getting around it. But, yeah. This is, I believe, the 330 or 350 GT, which is one of the slower variants, as you can see. It's not going 400 miles an hour. But I found a mod that adds some new variants to it. Now, default, there's the 320, 350 GT, the 390 GTR, the NOT, and the GTR Group 4, which is the Rally. But you can see here that there are 3 new versions. There's a GTR Drag, GT Turbo, and a 1000 horsepower Eddie Zion GT Turbo. This is the new fastest version, but I will go over all of them. I don't know who made the mod, I forget, but I will leave a link in the description so that you can check and see it. Description, crazy specs. So, the first one we have here is the GTR Drag. Each of these has their own custom skin, and it looks okay. Got some nice pinstriping on it. And turbo Bolide. I could add a spoiler and a rear diffuser to help with it, but let's just see how this new version does in a straight line. You can hear the difference now. It's got a turbo. The default bolide was engine only, not even a supercharger. No kind of extra horsepower added. So you can see we're going 200 now. We're going fairly stable. No weird tire glitchiness, although the rear end is really bouncy. I don't know why. So we're going to slow this down, see that you actually can slow it down. And there we go. Now you can see it's got the drag wheels of the drag versions of the standard cars like the Moonhawk and the Barstow, along with the front wheels. Although there are more options now. Go into the parts menu, take a look at rear suspension, rear wheels. You can see that you can add even bigger rear wheels, and they just look funny almost, but let's see what they can actually do. And then if you have not drag wheels on, you can see that there's more. Okay, it just collapses. There's more options available. I believe most of these options were available by stock, but in case they weren't, then they weren't. So let's throw on the huge back tires, and let's put on the diffuser and spoiler, both of which help keep it on the ground. So with the bigger wheels, does it go faster, or do the big wheels just kind of make it more of a hindrance? Let's find out. 6th gear, and they exploded. So more of a hindrance than anything, but it's good to have the option. So that's that. Let's take a look at the next version, which is the 350 GT Turbo. You can see here, it's got the same turbo bolide, but it's in a gold yellow. Different rims, different tires, still no diffuser or anything. But in a straight line, what does this car do? It will not be as fast as the drag racing version, I would assume, because drag racing versions are usually the faster of all of them. But yep, we get about 168, 170. I suspect this will have the same top speed as the stock bolide. Nope, slightly less. 180. I will show you the stock bolide now, or the fastest version of the stock bolide. It'll take a long time, but this will eventually hit 188 to 190 miles an hour. Maybe it will go faster if I lowered the suspension, keep it lower to the ground, but let's just see how the stock version can do. Five. 187, 188. Now it'll tend to stick here. If there's a bump or something, it'll get up to 189 to 190, but that's the end of the course. So, the final version that's new that I found is the 1000 horsepower edition. It's got not the rear diffuser, but it does have the spoiler. It's got a completely different paint job. No longer saying, actually, nope. It says Mil Cavalli. That's probably the guy's name now that I think of it. So it's got a completely different paint job. I think it looks nice, but you know, you can always change it if you want to. And I should note that this does not affect the base car. If the game gets updated, these parts should not interfere with the base car because they are all separate, brand new parts. So, if something goes wrong, you can just uninstall the mod later. But it shouldn't. That's the point of having it all being based on the stock car and just giving it new parts. Anyways, 1000 horsepower. It looks like wheel spin. And then this is the Bolide's true potential. If they had a good turbo, good transmission, and a bigger engine, I'm pretty sure this is what it would be like. 6th gear, 190. Still climbing. 200. Now this is going faster than the drag version. And I thought that was weird when I first tried this, but hey. Seems to have a top speed of about 220 to 235. I never reached the top speed of this. Judging by the gauge there, it has some more room to go if you give it time. Looks like it'll go beyond 235. 240. And 241 is at the end of the race course. So new fastest version, or new fastest car in general, faster than the Bolide Class A. I looked for an update for the Class A, but there was not one. This one works with version 5.2 of the game, which is, I believe, what it's currently at. If not 5.2, it's like 5.2.1 or 0.2. Not big changes. Let's reset the car here. And let's make it a little bit better for the racetrack. Add the diffuser and get it a little bit lower to the ground. There we go. That's actually looking quite good. Wheels are kind of far inside there, so let's get the track width way out. Just to make it look goo. There we go. That's better. As soon as we get it up to speed, it'll stop spinning the wheels. And we can adjust the turbo. That was mostly the point of this mod, was to give it adjustable turbo. We'll play around with it after we do a lap of this. There we go. Got up to speed, no longer spinning the wheels uncontrollably. Still kind of swaying. Maybe these are not the correct tires for this kind of race course, but you can see we're getting up towards 200 miles an hour, no problem. Even staying in the 190s in the turn. That was not even done with the Class A Bolide. The Class A dropped into the 180s. Oh, popped the back tire. Well, that was fun while it lasted. Alright, let's have some fun with the turbo now. With the fastest version, of course. Now, by default, the turbo isn't done too much, so let's see what happens if we increase it just a tiny bit. I'm just going to see if it can get past the 241 mark that it was at before. And my experience throwing all the gauges up to the max actually slowed it down. So let's see what just doing it a little bit at a time does. There we go. Finally up to a stable speed, or at least a stable gear. And nope, it did the same thing that happened to me before, where it instantly just went up to 9,000 RPM and stuck there. And that's not realistic, and that's unstable, I'd say. It still does climb up the speed, but not in the correct way. So let's do a simple reset of the car to get it back to stock. Without the diffuser, we should be okay though. You can see, if it can keep the Bolide under control, it's a fun car to drive. I guess that's always been the case. It's a very hard car to control, but when it does control, it controls nicely. And that's why I named my computer after it. Sometimes it's very hard to find out what the hell is going on with it, but once it's working all good and right, it gets stuff done. So yep, that's going to be it for this showcase. The download link will be in the description below if you want to check it out for yourself. If you enjoyed this video, then please remember to like, favorite, comment, and of course, subscribe. Thanks, Game Boy out. See you next time.